Make sure that my microphone's working. Perfect. Welcome to the New York Part 2 session with SPDas. Uh, Funny thing is, I had a breaker go on one side of my house. Too many devices plugged in running. Uh, so that's kind of funny. But luckily, we have a backup internet connection. And I recently reorganized my office layout and foolishly didn't plug in my main device to the backup connection, but that's something that'll get fixed. Uh, anyways, most of the streaming is actually happening on the cloud, and we're currently just doing things manually because that's the process that I like to take, especially during the some of the earlier stages as we set up the automations. Of course, that's definitely a temporary um, grievance, so to speak, right? But anyways, I'm gonna pass the microphone over to SPDas. He can take over, and we can get started with New York Part 2 Elliott Wave Theory trading. Just a moment.
Forex Lens gives you the edge. Forex Lens understands the global economy and financial markets. With machine learning, we give you real-time global analysis and investment strategies. Forex Lens lets you invest and earn with institutional traders, even if you're new to trading. Trading and investing made simple with Forex Lens. Check out our performance at forexlens.com. Get the edge on trades. Your eye into the markets. forexlens.com.
SPDas, the trading floor is yours.
Okay, thank you again, Igor, and welcome back, everyone. We are back to the New York Open, and let's get started straight away with the hourly chart of Euro USD. The story continues as planned. Actually, it's wonderful to see the. I'm going to just pick up that arrow slightly higher so that we can see the candle. There you see, when we were discussing in the last session, it was emphatically told that this could be the last chance for Euro bulls to get in, and and you see that test of backside. Now, believe it or not, the backside test is extremely powerful because that resistance line, when it breaks through and it comes back and tests, it begins to act as a support, just like past resistance becoming future support on the price action. But these trend lines, backside supports are so powerful, it can actually, I mean, I've seen prices back testing the trend line and moving on the other side, and for several months or even a couple of years, they don't return back. So that could be the kind of intensity that we're talking. We are still not too far. It's 90. We were suggesting around that zone, just about 50 points away. If you are still not got onto the trade, this could will be it's better to get this price breakthrough the recent swing high at 0440. All right. We haven't touched anything on the Fibonacci ratios and the trajectory that we decided or we plotted last time. So we've got 539 and 700. It's all in line with the resistances up there, past resistances. The first one is around what the next resistance is around 1.0459, followed by 530 and so on. But I think the story is now beautifully set up to unfold. If it doesn't go sideways, only confirmation is we need a push through that 49. It's already done, but that will accelerate. All right. So don't wait for the push through 45, 445. It's already done. Having said that, I would like to add one more concept. I mean, it's not a trading advice, but it's it's a conceptual thing. which can come very handy. And I always keep stressing personally on the trend lines. I think we discussed this day before yesterday or yesterday. I don't remember exactly. Prices were nowhere here. Okay, nowhere. The breakout was not there. Prices were somewhere here. And we were discussing about a push through, testing the outer trend line, and then coming back and testing the backside of the trend line. If you remember, you can go back to the videos if they are there in the. You can go and check the links as well. So you see that that path being followed: breakout, resistance taken out, test of the outer trend line, backside test of the inner trend line or immediate trend line, and now the bulls are uh, are ready to push through the resistances as well. All right, that is ten trend lines. If you do it properly, I think personally I call them very sensitive. I mean they're just like humans. The backside test or the front side test. It's amazing to see the trend line bounces. Okay, so broadly, Euro USD on the long side. Sorry, we will uh, we will quickly touch base with the dollar index now. Let's do the wave counts. If you want to see the trend line acting here as well, let's do that. Okay, we are not seeing a backside test here. So sometimes it is not exactly what the theory says. You see, the outer trend line has provided some support, but it has not yet carried through the backside. That could be a further indication of the selling pressure that the dollar might be facing. But euro was a classic book example of backtesting the support, the resistance turn support trend line. Okay, the wave structure now. Put wave 3, 4, and 5 down there, and we can do this one more time because the third wave is extending, and then we'll change the degree of we just change the degree of the larger wave. All right, so we are now set the minute degree. So we've got wave 1. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sub minute, and the color needs to be gray. All right. Yeah, there you are. Excuse me, please. It sometimes happens. I mean, the mind really gets confused about which way we are working, who is the father and who is the son. But finally, we got it. So we've got wave 1, wave 2, and then the third wave is extending probably wave 1, 2, and the third wave underway. Right. So if we do a third wave extension, let's see how it looks like. Let's do a simple third wave extension. So this wave 3 uh, goes down to 105, and then we get wave 4, and then again wave 5. So that brings us to wave 3 of one larger degree. Clear? And then this wave 5 goes there, and the wave 4 is the retracement. So the path, and wave 5. Believe it or not, wave 5 should be taking out a major support out there, which is it should be in line with the Fibonacci ratios as well. This wave 5 uh, won't be surprised if it drops all the way towards that support around 103. So, brothers and sisters, we are now looking for dollar index to drop all the way through the 103. There you are. That's the major support, one of the major supports actually, and eventually we are going to go below that low, 98. But it's going to take its own time. I mean, I would say 4 to 12 weeks, but there's a lot of ground to cover within that time zone, within that time period. Sorry. All right, so let's keep it as it is, and let's go forward to gold. I think we have not seen pound, right? We were discussing about pound longs as well. We have already traded, but look at that. That story is you know you know the sideways action of pound has been more than what we saw in the euro USD. I mean, I would that's not the that could be wave one, and then wave two up down there, and wave three is unfolding possibly, and again that subdivision, okay, the sun, one, two, and three, four, five. So pound is also inching. We are 22.90, so we bought around this price somewhere, 21.60, and stop around 1.2. So 150.60 or 170 points of risk actually. So pound is also inching as per the plan. Gold, let's see if it is inclined. Yes, sir, it is inclined. It's inching higher. If you were there with me the last session, I mean, we had projected the targets. Let's do it once again. This is the last wave. This is the last 5 waves we were counting, and after the sharp wave 4 decline, we are now expecting the fifth wave rally. So that B, which uh, which we are counting as a standard flat, is now slated towards 2743. So 2743 is a point where we can expect a turnaround. This could be the scenario where we are expecting maybe a slight push over 43 and then come down. So if this happens in the next few hours, or by the time we are back again, Tokyo Sydney overlap, then it's confirmed wave one, and then we are going to see wave two, and three, four, and five materializing going forward. So let's see if this path is happening or not. Remember, if you are just joining, if you have not done anything, this is still a price to enter. We have already done that around quite a lower levels. So we are not recommending to add something, but the stop loss is certainly around 55. Would be interesting how the fight between the bulls and bears are going, or how the fight is going when it touches around 43 mark. Let's see the RSI. And there you go with the RSI, diverging scenarios, 4 hour charts for the diverging scenarios. So I think we are good with the plan right now. Worst come scenario, it's going to beat us. take that 2780 scenario or even a bit higher and then reverse. All right. So it is going to be an interesting story by the time we are back next session for gold. Okay, Dow Jones. I think the markets are cash markets would be open. We are still inching. That could be a wave four sharp decline or an expanded flat, and I think we are inching closer to the 61.8% mark. Sometimes it is quite unbelievable the role the Fibonacci 61.618 plays for the required bounce higher or lower. It's called the phi, and it's working everywhere across nature, not just the markets. It's a mathematical series. So if you see a hike towards 0.618, that would be even better. And you see the trend line also passing through. So don't be surprised if it goes and backtests the trend line. That would be a better sign, actually, even a stronger sign for, because that sensitivity of the trend line, hitting the backside of the trend line, is a way for markets to tell us a story that, okay, I have hit the roadblock now. That angle is lower than the previous high. I cannot go any further right now. I'm planning to turn from here. So why don't you prepare to sell? This is the story what the market would be telling us. So let's keep this trend line as it is, and let's see how the price action is shaping up in the next few hours. We will evaluate again in the Tokyo-Sydney overlap. So we're going to keep that wave count and the structure as it is. The trajectory or the path goes slightly higher from here and then lower. Okay, SPDas 500. Let's see what it has doing, what it has done. Okay, just a moment. Two, three, four, and five, right? So these five waves is the first impulse, and with that we can, that is an intermediate wave one. We are looking for not an intermediate, sorry, minute. It's 1 degree higher. Intermediate is 3 degrees higher. So I'm going to change the degree here to minute. We've got minute wave one. Possibly we are now see that structure. You see that that's an expanded flat structure. Expanded flats are three waves up, three waves down, but the low goes beyond the previous low here. You see, it breaks below and gives us the impression that it's going to go further, and then suddenly five wave on the opposite side. So if we start counting waves, it's one, two, three, uh, four, and possibly the fifth wave is complete or just near to completion. I mean, any moment, should the retracement be around the 78%, I think so. Yes, we are at the 78% mark, which is quite possible for wave twos may dig quite quite deeper sometimes. It's a good sign actually, when bulls are trying hard to see if there is any further buying interest, and goes deeper for the wave two, and suddenly you find a turnaround. I mean, I've seen wave two, mostly it goes to 88% as well sometimes. So if that wave two is correctly done, then let's project the targets for SPX 500 as we've done for Dow. You never know if the third wave is extended. I would like to see it extended most of the time when there's a major trend reversal at a larger degree. Wave three is always extended mostly. So SPX 500, if you got to trade 66035 shorts, stop above what 61, so 6150, and the target is around 53. That's almost 10%, correct? 800, so it's 10%, 800 points, 700 points, so almost 10%, just above that 10% mark, in line with the Dow Jones. The only thing we need to see now is a break below that low, 5959, to start continuing on the downside downward journey. All right, so now it's time for us to look at the coins quickly. I would say I would really suggest be very careful when we are dealing with pounds on the long side. And this is the third session that we've been warning. If you are long a Bitcoin, let's go on the hourly charts because the counts are very clear. We've done that time and again. Bitcoin, if you're going to go long, we don't recommend any long positions, ideally around this price. We don't really recommend because the risk reward ratio, I mean, ideally the stop loss goes below that 89 mark. We are 103, that is 14 points, okay, and the reward is not that much. So if at all there is a corrective decline which kind of gets support somewhere here, then we might look into the matter, not otherwise. Ideally, we are not going to go otherwise. I mean, if we see a drop towards 97 again and a bounce thereafter, then it's worth taking another risk on the long side. At this point in time, it's better to stay away. Ethereum was a different case. I think Ethereum, the risk reward ratio, looking at the risk reward ratio, it's still okay to keep a stop around 29 and remain long with, because the high is not yet done, except for the fact now I'm going to relook at the curves here, or that's wave four, and then we've got one triangle wave two, three, four, and five. So if that five wave is complete, then the journey of Ethereum might also be complete. All right, but right now we are what we're looking for wave three there, wave four, and wave five high towards 4,300. So Ethereum is the only coin for which we could stay long around the current levels. We are long from 31, I remember, with the stop around 29 and the targeting 4,300. Solana already hit. Let's see what it does now. Maybe sideways action should be going on, or it's yes, it is sideways on the lower time frames. So please refrain from entering longs at this price until it drops towards sustainable support around 216, and we see a bounce thereafter. That would be a good place to enter with other further targets above 300, 360. That's what I remember last time. And finally, the Ripple story. Let's see how it's unfolding. The Ripple story has stalled. after hitting the 38.2% target. So it's kind of stalling right now, but I would not rule out another high. And considering the risk reward ratio, it's still good to buy, not too far from what we are trading last session. Just about 2 points of risk, 1.28 and 1.31, 3 points of risk versus 7 points of reward. It's still the same risk reward ratio. Might want to still consider going long. Otherwise, if you're already long, have your stop loss revised just below that 2.8 mark. All right. With that, I think we've touched base most of the instruments today, including the SPX 500. We'll touch base again when we come back during Tokyo Sydney overlap. Once again, thank you everyone for tuning in, and I will now hand over to Igor. Back to you, Igor.
Thank you very much, SPDas. Always a pleasure.
Forex Lens gives you the edge. Forex Lens understands the global economy and financial markets. With machine learning, we give you real-time global analysis and investment strategies. Forex Lens lets you invest and earn with institutional traders, even if you're new to trading. Trading and investing made simple with Forex Lens. Check out our performance at forexlens.com. Get the edge on trades, your eye into the market.